Hey there, good to see you. It's so weird for me to come in and just speak. Yes, I have a lot of knowledge to share, but what I share with you and where you are may not be the same that I would share with the person next to you. Where that person is in their journey in developing, leading, and expanding their practice is going to be different. The beliefs that they have that they're shifting, the authentic way that they respond and react to different things. And I remember watching mentors and guides and teachers and trainers, all these things through the years, and there were things that were okay, that's maybe for me. That one's not for me now, maybe later. And trusting that I would know the thing when it was time for the thing. Also, I was someone that I wanted the core idea. Just give me that central core belief, understanding, way of looking at a thing. How does this actually flow? How does this actually work? And then I can figure out how I want to use it, or what nuances I want to adjust and pay attention to. That's how I teach now. So the way that my programs are set up, I get to speak to you individually. In each one of my programs, there is individual full time for us to talk, to say, hey, where are you at right now? What are you loving? What desire is leading right now? What are you feeling right now? What fear are you letting hold you back? Whose voice are you listening to that's telling you that you can't do that? Do you still agree with it? Now, yes, there's a way that things just work, right? To lead, we need to empower and unify our teams toward a common goal. So, pre leadership is what's the goal? What's the vision? It's owning your desires. It's realizing just how influential you are in your world that you get to bring those desires into being. It's saying, yes, there's systems and structures that support me, that don't need to constrict me. How can I utilize those to support this dream? It's seeing it clearly, feeling it clearly, and taking the action steps towards bringing it into being. It's saying, yes, this is all of me. These are the facets of me. I will be all of this. It's allowing the weaving of the different parts of you to come into being. It's saying, yes, this is who I am. It's saying, yes, this is who I am, not only to who you think that they want you to be, but to who you actually are. So where one person has the belief that they shouldn't be so quiet, that they force themselves to speak, but then it's like inauthentic and forced and weird. And the next person maybe speaks when they're comfortable. See, you get to be you. Now, here's the other piece of this. I dove deep into trainings for many years, from deep spiritual culture to billionaire real estate entrepreneur sales trainers and everything in between. Every coach, every mindset, every entrepreneur, leadership, sales, spiritual practice. And I kept them so separate for so long. And I thought that this one doesn't have anything to do with this one, doesn't have anything to do with this one. I would do deep spiritual training. And then how in the world does that come back to a traditional healthcare clinic? How in the world do I take this way of interacting with the world and bring it back? How do I take this style of leadership and bring it back to where I am now? Or do I just shelf it and try to create a life where that can kind of come into being? How do I do this? So I've done a number of things with that. I did do that. There were many things that I learned, that I used for me, that I practiced in my personal life, that I brought in the bits and pieces that I could into my healthcare career. But a lot of it I just shelved. I didn't get it. I didn't know. I knew that I had that piece of information and that I would bring it out when I wanted to bring it out. I learned from more leaders. I read more books. I took more classes, more retreats. I've done the things. I realized that I would be working with a leader and then I would do it their way. And then I would be working with a trainer and then I would do it that way. And what I finally came to was actually taking a year off where I wouldn't watch any social media trainers, where I wouldn't read any training books, where I wouldn't, this is the exact thing that you're not supposed to do, right? Where I wouldn't listen to anybody else's opinions of how you're supposed to do it. I wouldn't read any to-do list, none of it. No, no podcasts on how, no tips and tricks from LinkedIn. I did none of that. I stepped away completely for a full year. I know what I need to know. And I knew that I had had the training and that it was time for me to make it mine. It was time for me to weave what I wanted to weave. It was time for me to do it my way. Now, in the beginning, I did it only my way because that was all I knew. And then I had gone for years to try to figure out what I knew. And I learned a lot along the way. All the leadership stuff, different spiritual practices. I opened my mind and experienced many different ways of thinking and understanding and tools and ideas around and ways to get to core concepts and ways to extrapolate that out and teach that out and break that down. But I finally got to a place where it wasn't about what they said. It was about what was true to me. And there was a point where I just needed to get that all out of my head, to let what was there be there and allow it to spin and interact and allow it to come together. Allow myself the space to hear myself think. Allow myself the space to listen to my dreams and desires, to listen to my values, to listen to not the way that it's supposed to be done, but to the way that was true for me. What I have found is that it's the combining of these two things for you. And this is the way I've been coaching for many years. This is the way that I've been doing this. I am genuinely curious about you. I genuinely want to know what you love, what your experiences have been, how you want to bring this into being. That excites me. What's really cool is that everybody does it so different. And as you learn healthcare systems around the world, as you learn belief systems around the world, you see how much we do out of habit or out of supposed to or out of this is the way, where there are so many ways. So what's your way? My job as a coach, as a mentor, as a trainer, as a leader, is to listen to you and to help you get what you want. I heard it put so well that I help you put the questions in order and say it out loud in a way that you can listen to you more clearly. Now, yes, there are things about leadership. And yes, there are targeted trainings then. But I had a client once tell me that after working with me, she had a reduction of 90% of searching outside of her. And she knew that that last 10% of searching for somebody else's way was simply because she was curious and she enjoyed learning. She knew that she knew what she needed to know when she needed to know it. She knew that she brought that into her experience. She knew that the 5 years and $50,000 she had spent really intentionally searching for the next workshop, always searching for the next masterclass, always searching for the next retreat, always searching. She knew how many answers she had. She was actually deep into an almost $20,000 marketing contract at the time, and she scrapped the whole thing. It wasn't true to her. It was what they were telling her it was supposed to be. And she took a step back. What did she want it to feel like? What were her values? What were her desires? If she didn't listen to anybody else, if she went and sat under the tree, away from her phone, away from all the books in her office, away from her computer with all these trainings and all these supposed tos and all these ideas always coming in, this is your dream practice. There is no one you can follow. You developing a brand new thing that the world has never seen. You know, you know, my greatest joy, pleasure, most humbling experience, things I'm most proud of are helping you listen to you, believe in you, trust in you, helping you get clear on what you want. And when you do that, then you take the actions from that place. The 6 arcs of leadership are awareness, leading by example, training your team, empowering, encouraging, and redirecting. And when you know where you want to go and you are aware, when you're aware of your team because you care about them, they allow you to do what you want to do. They are the systems and structures that you set up to support you. They are the relationships you've developed where you are cherished, loved, and respected for all of who you are, and you do the same for them. So you're aware of them. You're aware of you. You lead by example. You're doing it the way you want to do it. You lead by example. You train your team. Yes, the technical skills, but also this is how I want it to feel on the vision, on the where you're headed. This is how we interact with each other. This is how we problem solve. This is how we work together. This is where we're going. You want to listen to them. You want to delegate to them. You want to celebrate them. And you want to redirect back towards that goal. Leadership, once you have that clear vision, once you're confident in you, it's going to happen. And it is not this heavy, top-down, stressful thing. You set up the systems and structures. You set up the clear expectations. This leadership stuff happens. Now, yes, do you bring in a manager to adhere to those systems and structures? Very potentially. But you call those resources in to support your vision, to provide for and to protect where you're going. Leadership then, yes, it's a thing that we can be better at. Yes, it's a thing that we can bring more intentional practice to. And it does not have to be a top-down, rigid thing. It gets to be fluid. It gets to be fun and fulfilling. You get to be the caring and compassionate provider that you want to be. You get to do it authentically. You get to speak your way. You get to problem solve with your patients your way, connect them to the resources that they are looking for. You get to develop, lead, and expand your dream practice. I'll see you soon.